Unfortunately, cramps are not reserved for the high endurance athlete. We as powerlifters and bodybuilders sometimes deal with the menace that is muscle cramps. And today I want to talk to you about 2 ways to prevent muscle cramps and 1 emergency tool to use if you're dealing with muscle cramps during a session. This problem is near and dear to my heart because if you've been following the channel for a little bit, you know a muscle cramp took me out of my last powerlifting meet. I had a terrible lat cramp and it made me pull out of my deadlifts. So I've been doing a lot of research on how to prevent them, and I'd like to share them with you right now. First and foremost, when we're dealing with muscle cramps, we have to talk about hydration. And I know when I just said hydration, most of you are thinking about water, and you're saying, Jonah, I'm drinking a ton of water already, but I'm still feeling dehydrated and getting muscle cramps. Guess what, my friends? Your electrolyte balance could be off. When we talk about hydration, there's 2 parts that we need to focus on. One is, of course, your fluid intake, but the other side of that coin is going to be your electrolyte balance. Unfortunately, when we are pursuing health, a lot of the times we remove sodium from our diet. Seems to be a traditional way. When we're not eating a lot of processed foods and we're focused on whole foods, that also means that we remove salt. This can be a problem because sodium helps absorb hydration into our cells. Along with potassium and magnesium, it is one of the electrolytes that really helps us feel hydrated. The great news is this is an easy fix. You can salt your food to taste and add higher potassium and magnesium foods into your diet, such as bananas or sweet potatoes. Personally, I eat a ton of bananas, maybe 3 or 4 a day, and it has helped me so much. I also rely on liquid IV packets. Now, it's not about the brand, it's just about the electrolytes. So pick one that you like. There's no brand loyalty here. I'm just trying to give you some options. Liquid IV and other electrolyte packets like that can help you mix something into your water, either pre-workout or in the morning, that can liven up the flavor of your water, first and foremost, but it can also be a way to make sure that you're hitting a certain amount of electrolytes per day. This can remove the randomness of just salting your food completely. You can be sure that you're getting this many electrolytes if you rely on the liquid IV or any type of electrolyte packet. Okay, hydration is covered. Next up, we need to ensure that we are utilizing a proper mobility warm-up before our sessions. A lot of people think that with mobility, all I'm talking about is static stretching and foam rolling for half hour and really extending your time in the gym. That's not true. For me, a mobility warm-up allows you to perform the movement that you want to do for the specific day, pain-free, and in a manner where you can create the most explosion and lift the most weight. So for me, let's talk about a squat day. First and foremost, I'm gonna get in the gym and bring my core temperature up. I'm gonna do this through 5 to 10 minutes of low impact, steady state cardio on the treadmill, on the bike, whatever is open. Then I'm going to move to some specific warm-ups for the tissue that I'm going to be utilizing for the day. So for squats, that's going to be the quads and the glutes for me. So usually I will do 2 to 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps of leg extensions and hip abductions. Very light, just to get the blood flowing in the specific target muscle. Then I may employ some foam rolling or some static stretching if I'm extra sore. This is something that I put on top of my warm-up if I'm dealing with a lot of soreness, if I'm deep into a prep, something that can help me feel a little bit more loose, but it's on an as-needed basis. Finally, before I jump right into my working weight, I'm gonna get under the bar and do a little bit of a pyramid warm-up. Pyramid warm-up is one in which you pyramid yourself up to your working weight. So you may get under the bar, do 10 reps at just the bar, 5 reps at 135, 3 reps at 225, 1 rep at 315. For me, I do singles all the way up until I get to my working weight, and then you're good to go. So hopefully, as you get into your session, you've made sure your hydration is adequate, you've done a good warm-up, but what happens if a cramp still occurs? Now, we may need to employ the emergency self-myofascial release. You can do this with a foam roller or a lacrosse ball. A foam roller is going to attack a wide surface area on your body. I find it really good for quad cramps or lower back cramps, but if you need to get into those nooks and crannies, those smaller areas, a lacrosse ball can be a perfect tool to get the smaller areas that a foam roller really can't. Love to use this for calf cramps or mid-back cramps, something that you need a targeted muscle, and that can help you release the cramp. This may not be a perfect solution, and if you're still dealing with cramps, that indicates that you need to assess the first 2 things we talked about. So go back to the drawing board, make sure you're hitting those 2 things adequately before your next training session. Hopefully, you've gotten your cramping a little bit more under control. If you want to learn more about my specific warm-up for a day of powerlifting training, you can click on this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Get strong and stay strong.